Hey guys, the Dark Leandra here again. So in this video I would like to do the 10 Un-Goth confessions tag because it's another fun tag to do, really. I mean, it's always fun to get to know other people's little dirty, greedy little secrets. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so confession number 1. When it comes to the monsters versus the Addams family debate, I prefer the monsters. I mean, the Addams family, I don't really like the sense of humor. I don't really get it. I don't find it to be nearly as subtle or sophisticated as a lot of people say it is. To me, it's rather a little too obvious, and it feels like they're just trying too hard at times. Now, I'm not saying that the monsters are subtle or sophisticated, but in my opinion, they don't try to pretend to be something they're not, which I feel like the Addams family does. I feel like the Addams family tries a little too hard at times. I'm sorry. So, confession number 2. Again, related to the Addams family. I prefer Morticia and Wednesday from the TV show, not the movies. Especially Wednesday. Because Wednesday is... I don't even know where to begin. I just find Wednesday to be so insufferable, so one-dimensional. It's like the only thing she ever thinks about is death and murder. And I'm sorry, I can't relate to that at all. So I appreciate the kind of inspiration she is for the subculture, but her character's not for me. I'm sorry, I much preferred her on the TV show. Just me. Confession number 3. I don't like Dracula, the book. I like the movies just fine, but the book is no, I do not like it at all. The thing is, the beginning is fine. There is a good amount of suspense and terror. Dracula makes for a very good enemy, but once Lucy is staked, everything just seems to go downhill completely. I mean, the story drags on. I'm sorry, guys. As I was saying, once Lucy is staked, the story just seems to drag on and on and on, and the climax, the final battle, the showdown at the end is just so disappointing. At least I really was disappointed, especially since they spend pages on the boat beforehand, which is quite boring. Also, Van Helsing. I have a problem with Van Helsing. He does not sound convincing at all as a foreigner. I think Bram Stoker could have made more of an effort to actually spend some time with foreigners, because Van Helsing does not speak like a foreigner. He speaks more like Master Yoda, in my opinion. Seriously, go read his dialogue. It's just bad, in my opinion. Also, the sexism in that book. It's just... You know what? I don't mind one or two sexist comments. I mean, I can deal with it. I can overlook it, but when I have to be reminded on every single damn page of every single damn chapter to the miserable end of the book that because Mina is a woman, she must be protected at all costs, preserved, that she must rest, that no one can distress her because it would be horrible for her, she's too weak to stand any of it, then I have a big problem. I really do. It's like, seriously, Stoker? You made your point the first time. I heard you loud and clear. Cut it out. It's too much. So yeah, the sexism is very annoying. On the other hand, Renfield is a really cool character and the movies never ever do him any justice. It's just so frustrating. Anyway, confession number 4. Black is not my favorite color. Blue and purple are. I'm sorry. Confession number 5. I don't dress goth all that often. And when I do, it's never that extravagant or... It's kind of discreet, to be perfectly honest. Maybe a little too discreet at times. But the thing is, I have a lot of trouble finding clothes. I mean, online, when they're not horrifically expensive, they're not particularly good quality. I mean, seriously, I'm not a fan of polyester. I much prefer cotton. And a lot of the stuff you find online is just cheap polyester. Now, I've tried thrift stores, but I couldn't find anything I wanted there either. I mean, there were a few black clothes, but nothing I felt I could do anything with. I'm sorry, I have so much trouble with the fashion. But I'm working on it. Fortunately, we're heading into summer, which means that I only have to worry about black t-shirts. So you know that's the advantage of summer. Now, confession number 6, I think, yeah. Confession number 6. The Vampire Chronicles. Louis versus Lestat. I don't like Lestat. I much prefer Louis. Lestat is a good protagonist. He gets things done. He's the instigator. He stirs up trouble, which is fine. But I don't like his personality. I much prefer Louis, even though Louis is the moody, broody type, the quiet, introspective type. He's very vulnerable, very humane, very compassionate, very conflicted. And I'm sorry, I kind of like that. I prefer it in a character, to be honest. Whereas this that really doesn't appeal to me. I'm sorry. Now, confession number 7. This one is really embarrassing, and I'm really, really sorry, but it needs to be said. I am scared of vampires. Well, that might be a slight exaggeration, since I do try to read every single book I can get my hands on, but I don't like vampires, basically. They are basically the stuff of my nightmares. Like, every time I have a really bad nightmare, a vampire always features in it. I think I have trouble with the actual idea of a vampire itself, as in, you have this dead creature that rises from a coffin at night, comes to your bed while you're asleep, so vulnerable, at your most vulnerable, and sinks its fangs into your throat to suck out your blood. I'm sorry. Some people might find that quite erotic. I find that disgusting and terrifying. I do not like vampires. Not really. At all. Except for Louis. I mean, Louis could come and bite me if he wanted to. I probably wouldn't say no, but he's the exception. Otherwise, keep your fangs off me and away from my throat, whatever you do. I could go on and on about vampires, but no, I won't. Anyways, confession number 8, I think it is. I actually like Cradle of Filth. Now, I was never under the impression that they were a goth band, because I got into the music with the traditional bands. So I know that Cradle of Filth is not goth. They're more like new metal, I think. But they're still fun and cheesy and entertaining in their own way. They're perfect if I want something a little heavier, a little angrier. Plus, I think their cover of No Time to Cry is actually quite good. That's just my personal opinion. So that was confession number 8. Now, confession number 9. I don't mean to insult anyone out there. You do what you like, but I do not like piercings or tattoos. I'm sorry, it's not for me at all. I don't mind tattoos, except that I would immediately change my mind and have to have it removed at once. But I do have a problem with piercings. I don't find them pretty at all. I'm sorry, I just don't. And last but not least, confession number 10. I love Bauhaus. They're my second all-time favorite band, but I do not like Bela Lugosi's Dead. I really don't. I'm sorry, I don't. God, it's so frustrating because I love almost every other single song by Bauhaus, but that one I just can't get into, and it's the song that started off the whole subculture. It's the reason we have goths and we have a subculture to begin with, and I don't like it. I don't like the music, I think. The lyrics are cool, but the music, I'm sorry, it's just not for me, guys. So anyway, that was it, my 10 Un-Goth confessions tag. I hope that these weren't too bad and that you won't burn me at the stake or come after me with pitchforks afterwards. And yeah, I'll just see you next time for another video, guys. Bye!